Hey, how you doing, everyone? Kennedy Heat here. Going to give you another video. Down and dirty class again on batteries, battery storage, things of that nature. The first thing I'll say is everyone needs batteries for certain devices in their home, whether that be their cell phone, GPSs, uh, portable radios, things like that. And for the purpose of this video here, I'll talk about just the disposable batteries as opposed to the rechargeables that I have. Um, everyone's going to need them for backup energy, whatever. But you should always keep a certain amount of batteries for each of your devices that are really important, whether it be just a regular radio, especially for your flashlights. You have to have them. So, you want to buy decent ones because you never know in a pinch. You're not going to be able to run out to your store and buy the needed batteries that you need. But if you look on these batteries here, they'll tell you a shelf life on them. It's right over here. They'll tell you a shelf life on it. I know this one's 2022 is when this battery is no longer viable. But in its present state, these batteries here, they can stay active for a certain amount of time being in their packaging. You take something like a brand name good battery like Duracell. It's a good battery. That'll keep for a very long time in the packaging in its present state, kept under the ideal temperatures. It'll last you, a while and can be taken out of the package and used. You take some of these other ones like these cheap batteries. They're really, they're okay for, powering up a remote control for your TV. But as far as anything you would have to really, stake your existence on, I wouldn't even give it a second thought. But you're going to use what you have at hand, so you got to do what you got to do. But I wouldn't go too cheap with the batteries that you have. I would try to make sure you use brand name batteries. They're cheap enough as it is. I mean, you can go to a dollar store and buy some of these Panasonic batteries. You go buy 3 of them for $1. Or you can buy these even worse. You buy 6 of them for $1. They're really not that good. They don't last as long as a good quality Duracell or Energizer battery. So think about that when you're getting ready for something. Don't buy the cheap stuff because in the end you're just going to be spending more money and it could ruin your appliances or devices. Now you see in the back of this GPS, I have the batteries in back here, and every once in a while I do check this to make sure that the batteries don't leak or the seals on the batteries don't break. If that happens, you'll see this will start to corrode and gunk up, and it corrodes, the electronical components inside here, which renders it somewhat useless. So another thing to think about, if you put cheap batteries, it's like putting a silk hat on a pig. You spend a lot of money on certain preps, and you're going to use cheap batteries. It just really doesn't make any sense. You have a $200 GPS device, and you're going to put in a $2 battery. It makes really no sense, and it's not a good idea to do those things. But I have certain things here. The only thing I really would go cheap on is the battery tester. It has the wire here. You test just the strength of what's left in the battery. Once a battery's halfway done, or even probably a little more than that, I throw it away and that's it. Some people, they use these chargers here, as you can see, and they try to recharge the old existing batteries. And for a time, sometimes you can do that. But then once the seals on them break, what'll happen is, and you can see right over here on this charger, where one of the seals broke, and you're going to be dripping all that acid onto the device. And personally, if you're gonna do that, buy yourself a good set of rechargeable batteries. You might pay 5 times more for that battery than you would, say, for these bargain brand batteries, or 2 times more than, say, one of these Duracells. But once you have them, they can be recharged sometimes up to over 100 times, and to me that's well worth it. I haven't found a way to recharge any of these larger 6-volt batteries, but if they ever do come up with a way to do it, or they make rechargeable batteries, that'd be great because I use these lanterns quite often in my flashlights. So, something to think about when you're prepping, batteries. Not a lot of people have really done a whole lot of videos on it, and I'd like to upgrade this video to something more when I get more research on it. But if you do have to buy cheaper bargain brand batteries, as I like to call it, don't buy these carbon batteries. These carbon batteries really, to me, they're trash. Buy an alkali battery if you have to go cheap on it. But stick with the popular brands like Duracell, Eveready's, Energizers. Even these Panasonics are okay, and I mean okay, but make sure you buy the alkaline. Don't buy the carbon because, the carbon does tend to leak out. And I think it has a lot to do with, inside the battery, the actual seals of it. So it's something to think about when you're prepping and planning for something, is have a decent amount of batteries at hand because you never know when anything's going to take place. So I welcome any of your comments, and I'm sure people have some other suggestions. Just inbox me or leave it in the comment section, and we'll do some research. Thank you for watching.